What's up guys, I'm Mystic Mal. Today's video is going to be about 5 things you need to know about the Master of Masters. Before I get too deep into this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you share with your friends, and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my Mystic content. Mayor Heart, Beer Guide, and Key, let's grow this Mystic family. Let's get on with this. For number 5, his real name. His real name is a very controversial subject because not a lot of people basically scratch that itch. Like the series hasn't really referred to his name anywhere, or even if it's like a pseudo name like Ansem for Ansem the Seeker of Darkness, there's no pseudo names or anything for the Master of Masters. We just know him as Mommy Boy. So with that being said, there's something I've been trying to crack when it comes to the Master of Masters' real name. His name would have to be something along the Christianity's 7 deadly sins, because if we were to take the rest of the foretellers' names, Ira, Ava, Lushu, Envy, Gula, and Aced, but then if we translate that to Latin, that will be Ira once again, Avaritia, then you have Luceria, then you would have Invidia, Gula, and Acedia. And those things translate in English to wrath, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, and sloth, which are the 7 deadly sins. But if we were to assume what the Master of Masters' real name would be, because corresponding to the whole 7 deadly sins on Christianity aspect inside of Kingdom Hearts, it's safe to assume that the Master of Masters' name corresponds with the last deadly sin that isn't listed in the Kingdom Hearts series, which would be pride. And pride is something that aligns with the Master of Masters character. When he first got his actual voice to voice out the cutscenes and all that type of jazz, he gives a very prideful energy. But his name would probably be something along the lines of Superbia. Superbia in Latin. So Superbia is the Latin translation for pride, the 7 deadly sin. So it's safe to assume that the Master of Masters' name would either be Superbia, or maybe Superb, right? So it would be Lushu, Ira, Ava, Envy, Gula, Aced, and Superb. But moving on to number 4. He is voiced by Ray Chase. Ray Chase is a renowned actor that's literally been shaking the gaming world for years now. He's been playing inside of games such as Mass Effect, Final Fantasy 15, all the way until now as the Master of Masters. He also plays inside of Telltale's Walking Dead, and also, Nier Automata and stuff like that, and all that jazz. But his abilities to be this his ability to play the heroic and the villainous parts and roles within the different characters is crazy. He is a legendary voice actor and his performance is top notch. But moving on to number 3, his power over the Keyblade. We know that the Master of Masters is a guy you do not want to mess with. He possesses ultimate power to control many Keyblades at once, just like how Master Xehanort could in the Keyblade Graveyard. He is a master to where he has the will to be able to control inanimate objects. Submit! We've seen this plenty times throughout the series, especially in Birth by Sleep, because Terra basically got DDT'd by a mountain. But moving on to number 2, his grief past. Like the Master of Masters, he may be a happy, jolly, yet dark character, but his character in particular has a very dark and grave, solemn past. You know what I mean? His past when he was a young boy, when the whole Keyblade War started, his comrades were struck down, and it's just a very complicated situation when it comes to the Master of Masters. Then after the original Keyblade War inside of Kingdom Hearts Key, the Master of Masters vanishes without a trace. Then 5 years before his disappearance, the Master divulged a small portion of his origins to his apprentice Luxu. He revealed to his inquisitive student that another Keyblade War took place when the master was a young boy. The master lost a lot of comrades to the darkness during that battle, and as a result, he devoted the rest of his life to avenge them. He has suffered a great deal throughout his life, but he acts as if he didn't lose anything at all. You know, and that's a very interesting, aspect about the Master of Masters, is because he has a dark past, yet he still sees the bright side of things. You know, the Master of Masters, he just wants to avenge his boys. You know, he lost his people that he loves the most, you know, his comrades, his teammates. So that's why when certain situations turn out with the Master of Masters and why he does stuff and why he is the way he is, like a very mysterious man, I can't really blame him because of all the things he's been through as a young boy. You know, he witnessed a lot. But moving on to number 1, his goal. The Master of Masters' intentions were a complete mystery for a long time. The only thing fans really knew about him is he acted more like a villain than anything else. You know, he was nowhere near a hero, but in certain aspects you can see him as a hero, because there's lots of different things that can classify this man as a hero throughout the story. But countless Keyblade wielders look to him for guidance, but the most of the answers they received from him were very philosophical. You know, like the type of things he would say is very poetic, right? Like, for example, that one scene when the Master of Masters talks to Xehanort, he's like, oh, if I can tell you that I'm an artist, or I'm a great scholar, or I can be planning for the world's destruction. You know, like, he's very poetic when he talks, and I love that. I love when enemies, I wouldn't say enemies, but I love how, villains and anti-heroes, when they talk in a certain manner, I love how they have, a very philosophical, very grave tone when talking, because the word choice and all that, it shows how ancient they really are. You know, but his intentions aren't all bad, but kind of unclear. But for the most part, you know, he's not all a bad guy. You know, he's just trying to avenge his teammates, avenge his comrades, his brethren. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you share it with your friends, and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of my Mystic content. We about to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. May your heart be your guiding key. Let's grow this Mystic family. Peace.